How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys have been having a great Saturday. Been watching the news all over the country. It seems like a lot of major cities all over the place. People out in the streets doing their thing, and some people are happy, some people are not. And it is what it is at the end of the day. All I can say is to people, no matter how you feel about the election, life will go on, life will continue, and we all have to ensure that we look out for each other and be more human towards each other just by a kind hello, how you doing, holding the door for somebody, things of that nature. That's just the way I was raised. So I obviously, when I expect that from other people, at the same time, a lot of things, a job or the military or anything else can't teach you. Sometimes it's just, hey, good common sense and being decent towards others and things of that nature. But hey, we're going to get started today. It's going to be nothing but positive vibes and whatnot because people, there's a lot of positivity in the air, and yet and still there's a lot of negativity in the air at the same time. So I think it's time for us to just keep it on the positive note. And we're going to start off with some good music, and we're going to go from there. All right, let's get it going. All right, like I said, we're going to see what happens and all that good stuff. All right, let's get it going. Go over a few positive things and just keep it simple, family. All right, let's get it going. All right, let's get the show started. Let's get the show started. All right, let's get it going. Let's get it going. All right, if you are watching, please give a thumbs up. It's always greatly appreciated. About to go over a couple of good positive things about what I've learned over previous administrations, over the current administration, and what we hope to accomplish and learn over the next administration or whatnot. All right, so let's get the show going, and hopefully you guys are having a great day. And thanks again for tuning in and all that good stuff. Thanks for the like, mother. It's always greatly appreciated. All right, so let's get this bad boy going. All righty, so we are going to switch it over. Let's get it. All right, I want to take it off. Let's see what we got. There we go. All right, let's get the presentation going. Make sure everything is up to par and all that good stuff. Make sure I can see this, because if not, then I might need to sure I can see this. Sure I can see this. Of course not. Now my presentation wants to act up and whatnot. So I will bring it back up in a second. But anyways, basically what I'm trying to do is go over what I learned over during the Obama administration, what I've learned during the Trump administration, and what I hope to learn during the Biden administration. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the one beautiful thing about the United States of America is that if you have a determination, no matter what the situation is, I've seen, and most of the people of the millennial generation, we've seen people who can't speak English or don't even have full citizenship or any sort of citizenship in the United States prosper on a big level. So that's the beauty of the United States of America. Every country has its pros and cons. Like I said, I'm not going to disagree with that. Every country has its pros and cons, and that's cool. But I will say about the United States of America, if you have the right mindset and if you have the right team around you, especially if you have good family around you and friends around you, you can do darn near anything. All right. And that's what I expect to see out of more people with the current with the new administration coming in and whatnot. I expect to see more people getting smarter and working together and not just working against each other, because this whole Lone Ranger thing, I've said it for a long time and I'll continue to say it till the day I die. It doesn't matter who's in the White House. If you're by yourself, you have a better chance of coming, basically having a chance of being bankrupted or losing your job or business going out of business because you have no protection from a mental standpoint and from a financial standpoint because you don't have the right people around you, and you definitely want to have, like I said, in my personal opinion, you want to have the right people around you in order for you to be able to be as successful as you want to be. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to keep it real on that one. All right. So anyways, let's get this presentation started. All righty. Make sure everything is squared. No. There we go. Let's see. Gonna do a little test here before I get going. Make sure everything is coming up the way I want it to come up. All right. All right. That's not how I want it to look. So let's try this. I want you guys to be able to see the presentation a lot more. So let's get rid of that. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Let's see what we got. Make sure it's looking good. All right. Please bear with me, family. Take 2 seconds. All right. There we go. That's what I want to see. All right. Let me hide this because you're in the way. There we go. All right. Awesome. Now, we're going to start with the Obama administration. Whether you love President Obama, whether you hate President Obama, this is nothing to do with loving and hating. I'm talking about my experiences during his administration. And then we're going to talk about my experiences and what I've learned during President Trump's administration. And if you have any specific experiences, particularly on a positive note, because there's already enough negativity out here in the world, please leave them in the comment section. But what I learned under President Obama, I learned about various aspects of government. How government truly works from a political standpoint, from a power structure standpoint. I learned that you can start at the bottom and make it to the White House, because that's how, Obama started out, just a regular guy living overseas and living in Hawaii and whatnot, and ended up living in California, ended up living in New York, then ended up moving to Chicago. There was a lot of, and obviously the world was different back then. The country was different back then. And I learned not only just about making it from the bottom to the top, because obviously a lot of people did this before he did and whatnot, but I learned the importance of networking because as I read a lot of his books and whatnot, Dreams of My Father, The Audacity of Hope, and that's back when I was really getting into more self-help books and things of that nature, because I'm a big George Fraser fan, Dr. Claude Anderson fan, Tony Robinson fan, Damon Johns fan, people who have great life stories and give great uplifting messages and whatnot in their stories, Les Brown, things of that nature. I will say with all sincerity that a lot of people who have an introvert mentality like I do, it's very hard for people like us to network with other people and whatnot, because a lot of times, we're just used to doing things by ourselves, especially in today's COVID-19 economy. You're used to just operating mostly everything on your computer and your cell phone, And because the craziest thing is, during one thing I could say, a positive note about the COVID-19 economy is I've been able to connect with more people online than ever before that we had the same mindset and whatnot. Business owners, people who are working in specific career fields and whatnot, from skilled trade sector and things of that nature. So I learned a lot about that and the importance of it, and not just from a selfish standpoint, but not only what can they do for me, but what can I do for them, so we can help each other become better. I learned a lot about that. And obviously that was 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago when President Obama was first elected back in 2008 timeframe. So, I was a different person back then, living a different life back then, but, I've grown since then. Hopefully we've all grown since then, and I learned the importance of education, not only just because, I grew up in a time frame, I'm an 80s baby. I grew up in a time frame where everybody just told you, just get a degree in anything, get the student debt, and people are going to hire you and whatnot. But my mindset was, if I'm going to go to college, it's going to be for something specific, and I'm going to make sure that I can utilize that asset so that I don't get into crazy student loan debt and things of that nature. And I actually paid for college myself via credit cards and whatnot, and was able to pay those credit cards off 2 years after I finished completing my higher education. But I learned of the importance of education in regards to, and the reason why is because the way not just Obama, we speaking and whatnot, but speak about it and whatnot because of his specific experiences and whatnot, but because of the people I was around at that specific time. Now, I know a lot of times it sounds like this is just any growing pains that anybody deals with on a regular basis. But my point at the end of the day, when it boils down to it, is that I learned the importance of even how the DMV area worked, especially given the fact that, you know, I grew up in the area, but I got to see how more and more things were actually happening and going. Things are put into place, especially when the government shutdown happened back during that time. I think it was 2013. The way that the world even viewed the DMV area and how other people within the DMV area viewed the rest of the United States of America and whatnot, you know, and that was a different time frame because, you know, the recession of 2007 and 8, a lot of jobs were eliminated, just like a lot of jobs have been eliminated now, you know. And that was really a time where you knew that there was a boom and bust economy. And then the whole thing was when things were starting to get better by 2015-16 timeframe, you knew that when was the next crash going to be? Are you even prepared for the next crash? You know, and then of course, you know, we've had COVID-19. Nobody expected this, so nobody expected all these jobs to be eliminated and possibly never coming back. You know, but these are specific things that I learned during Obama's tenure. I learned more about healthcare industry because, you know, he passed the Affordable Care Act and whatnot, and I've learned how the healthcare industry has actually worked within the United States compared to other Western nations. You know, Canada, the UK, Germany, Spain, you know, France, et cetera, and whatnot. So I learned the differences between that. I learned the upsides of that, the downsides of that, the upsides of quote unquote socialized medicine, and the downsides of quote unquote socialized medicine. Because no matter what system anybody works in, what country they live in, there's going to be ups and downs to anything. Nothing is perfect. No corporation's perfect. No government's perfect. And no person is perfect. So that's just what it is. There's always going to be ups and downs to anything. So you have to be able to take the good with the bad, whether you like it or not, whether you disagree or not, and call it a day. Because like I said, my biggest pet peeve nowadays is people get too much in their emotions and act like if you disagree with them, like it's the worst thing on the planet. Like I'm friends with people who are Trump supporters, and I'm friends with people who like Obama and like Biden and whatnot. So it's like, I don't have time for this. You know, I'm canceling you because you're a Trump supporter. I'm canceling you because you're a Biden supporter. It's ridiculous, especially for the adults in the room. It's a bad example to set for the kids. Okay, for the younger generation to just constantly cancel, because there's a big cancel culture. If we don't agree with everything on everything, then we can't be friends and whatnot. And that's nonsense. Because do you really think that Steve Jobs and Bill Gates agreed on everything? No, but they found a way to work it out. Do you really think that Keenan Ivory Wayans from the Wayans brothers, the Damon Wayans, they agreed on everything? No. And look at the empire, the $1 million empires that they built and whatnot, because they didn't agree on everything. Russell Simmons, Damon Johns. Hey, you watch Shark Tank, most of them people can't stand each other. Okay, half the time, but they became the best of friends because they actually work towards what they actually agree on. If you look at all the characters that are on not characters, but all the business people that are on Shark Tank and whatnot, they don't agree on everything. They're not the best of friends. They argue with each other all the time, you know, but the one common goal that they have at the end of the day is they're trying to make a profit, and they're on that show to help other people's dreams come true at the same time by buying into small businesses. And I think I think grown-ups need to get back to that. It's cool to disagree. There's no point of insulting you. That's a waste of time. There's no point of getting overly emotional about this. Get overly emotional when your life is on the line. And when I say life is on the line, I mean you're in the hospital, somebody's got a gun in your face, you know. But when it comes to business, even when it comes to political stuff, if you agree to disagree, that's fine. I've disagreed with people without having to get loud and vulgar and, you know, as I like to call it, unprofessional, you know. And it's not the end of the world. Okay, so that's my mindset, you know. But that's what I learned during that time frame, during from 2008 to 2016 and whatnot. That you know, the world is obviously an interesting place, much bigger than my DMV backyard, because I got to explore a lot of parts of the United States around that time. But I got to connect with more people that were in other industries than I was in, and actually made me more interested in actually doing different specific things, you know. So that was the one of the best times of my life and whatnot. So, but anyways, now we're going to Donald Trump. Okay, from 2016, 17 to 2020. All right, I learned how to refocus my energy more on assets. Why? The main reason why I learned how to do that because I've always been into wanting to buy stocks and bonds and whatnot. Not so much buying rental properties and real estate because I didn't have that mindset yet until like the last 2 years and whatnot. But I said to myself, I've always had this. I wanted to be able to make income outside of my job and be able to create a lifestyle that I can pull multiple streams of income and whatnot. And I wanted to be able to get more tax write-offs because I like to be one of those people that looks forward to tax season instead of dreading it. Okay, because a lot of people actually dread tax season. I get that. But as a business owner, a lot of times I look forward to it. All right. I learned how to really, another thing, I learned how to really receive more tax write-offs as a business owner. Started my businesses 2 years ago. Larry's Anything Goes, Patterson Properties, Patterson Rental Properties and whatnot. Because the tax laws changed and they favored more of the business communities to obviously to incentivize growth because obviously, and it is what it is. When a business makes more money, they have the opportunity to hire more people because the demand goes up. That's just the way it works. All right. Not saying that there was no growth during Obama's tenure or Trump's tenure because there's been growth on both sides and whatnot. And obviously with COVID-19, a lot of the growth has been stagnated because, you know, the economy had to shut down and unfortunately the economy might have to shut down again. Nobody really wants it to, but if the cases keep going up, I mean, it is what it is. At least that's what's been reported and whatnot. You know, how accurate that may be, it's another story. Okay. Now, I learned how how the business community conducted themselves because I started going to more business networking events, you know, physically before COVID, you know, got to actually engage with more people who are from all calibers of life and whatnot. Just, you know, because in the DMV, you have a lot of people who are prior service and that's all they know. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I like to be able to be around a mixture of people that might be prior military, they might work for the government, they might work in corporate America, they might have a small business. I like to have that mixture of people around so there's a mixture of ideas going on and whatnot. So I was able to go to other events like a Merle when I got the opportunity to be around other real estate professionals. And actually, I miss going to those kind of events because it's physically, because it's just a better networking atmosphere. But I'm going to do the stuff online and hopefully create the opportunity to be able to network with more people online instead of just face to face because everything's online nowadays. All right. Like I stated, I created my own business. You know, Larry's Anything Goes was the first LLC. Obviously, this is the channel I'm on. This 3 years ago, 2017, I made my first video in the kitchen of my house, and I was very nervous. And it was like a 3 minute video, and I was just introducing myself. I think the video should still be on my YouTube channel and Facebook channel. And then I made my second video. My room, just me, you know, started off this channel with just me and my cell phone. You know, very simple. You know, no special effects. You know, no presentation, no nothing. Just me and the cell phone. You know, but I just learned to come into my own. And because the world was changing when his administration first came in the office, I just learned to become more one with the new way that things are going to be done, you know. And that's where we all, you know, you have to have an adapt and overcome mentality. You can't, none of us could expect anything to stay the same anymore, especially in a world how fast and long technology just goes like that, like, you know, like clockwork, you know. It's nobody can keep up with it no matter what age you are. All right. And then, like I said, I had the guts to start making my own content on Facebook and, you know, YouTube, because like I said, I was very nervous, very, very nervous, and did not know where this thing was going to go. And if anybody was even going to want to engage with me, you know, because that's just, I think that's just, they call them normal jitters and whatnot. But, you know, I did not know that I was going to be able to hook up with a money Mike, you know, hook up my brother from another mother, Chris, hook up with Adrian, hook up with Theodore White, you know, hook up with Jamara Stevens, you know, Akil Johnson, you know, just Monica Gordon, just continuously connecting with great people. Talithia Morris. I mean, the list goes on and on, you know, and I've got to engage with a lot of great people. And the sad thing is, most of these people I haven't even met yet. So everything's just been on Facebook and YouTube and whatnot. You know, the guy from Rotten Tomatoes, you know, just continuously just hooking up with people because that I found more people who were more like-minded as far as business centric and like-minded as far as, you know, wanting to see African Americans own more businesses and be able to bank with our own banks and to be able to promote one another from a positive network, a positive atmosphere. Because the biggest problem is that's why I have a lot of troubles with media and whatnot sometimes, is a lot of times they only want to show the negative, they never want to show the positive. And that's why this video is positive. It's positive about Obama, it's positive about Trump, it's positive about Biden, because it's just, if you really want to get negativity, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, they got your back. Okay, so that's that. I don't do that here. I think when you speak positivity into existence, you and implement it in your everyday life, I believe it's like a positive affirmation, and it can just help you move forward, no matter where you're trying to head to, no matter where you're trying to go, and you can just make it from there. And that's where I've grown, whether it was President Obama or whether it was President Donald Trump. I've grown in those two specific capacities, and I'm really excited about where this life journey is going to go. You know what I mean? Because to me, it's just like, even with this year in 2020, it seemed like the world has hit rock bottom in a sense, but there's no place but up we can go. And I truly believe that you got to be positive at the end of the day. Now, when it boils down to it, what will we learn under the president-elect Joe Biden? So my personal opinion is, I think that we are going to have to learn to, like I said earlier, to agree to disagree and move on without having to riot in the streets and whatnot. A lot of things, just because of a new administration coming in, a lot of things are not going to disappear. A lot of things aren't going to change very fast. A lot of things will stay the same. A lot of things might change. But I will say, if there's more of a community effort involved and people wanting to work together and not just depend on the government to fix everything, I think that's the wrong direction, in my personal opinion. Everything in this life has its place. But the beautiful thing in the United States, when you actually put work in every single day towards what you want to do and what you want to see, because it's easy for any of us to just get on social media and complain about something. That's the easiest thing on the planet to freaking do. Okay. What are you be doing every day with your everyday lives? What actions are you implementing? Most of us get on social media to keep in contact with certain people, to promote what we believe in. A person like me to promote my brands, business and whatnot, and connect with people. That's what I get on social media for. I do not get on social media to complain. Like I said last night, I'm not going to argue with people if it's not of some real substance to where it's actually going to get us someplace. I find that to be a waste of time. Binging on social media for the sake of doing that, that's fine if that's what you do. Me personally, I got things to do, okay, as an adult. All right. But I think what we will learn is that more and more technology advances are forcing more and more people to stay in their homes. We're going to see a lot more, and this is a prediction. I could be wrong, but I have a funny feeling we're going to see a lot more shopping centers either turn into apartments, storage facilities, Amazon fulfillment centers. We're going to see a lot more brick and mortar go away, or definitely just shrink to a very much smaller size. The at-home event thing, for even businesses, that are traveling to barbers, people who do women's hair, men's hair, nails. What is it? You're going to see probably more at-home DJ parties. I could see that at-home parties, instead of people going to a club and whatnot, or going out to a restaurant, people hiring. Another thing that's very popular that I did not mention last night, chefs, personal chefs, actually cooking for somebody. That's going to become more and more of a thing, just for regular working people, just for regular small business owners or whatnot, not just for the well-to-do. One of my favorite podcasters shows, Learn at Your Leisure. One of the other gentlemen, he actually had, because he has a specific diet because he's a vegan and whatnot, he actually hired his own chef, because he's actually noticed that he was spending more money ordering DoorDash every day or Grubhub every day, but he actually wants to have his own chef and actually have request his chef to travel with him, because he has to travel around the country every now and then. I think you're going to see more of that as well. So people who are in the food prep industry and are actually great organic chefs and whatnot, I see that business growing in a big, big wave within the next 5 years. Heck, next year, to be honest with you, because you're going to have more and more of at-home economy, because we know COVID-19 isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So you're going to have a lot more things that are just going to be required for more people to be at home. Quinceañeras, when it comes down to a big time in a woman's life and whatnot, step in her womanhood and whatnot, you're going to have bar mitzvahs, in the Jewish community. You're going to have more and more of those probably at home or whatnot, or outside events. You know, so a lot of these things are going to be taking place at people's homes instead of at actual specific centers and whatnot, for the simple fact that the stay-at-home economy is, for the most part, here to stay. You know, so I can't put it any other way. And it's like I said, at the end of the day, whatever your feelings are about the election, it is what it is, you know, because every election, somebody's going to be happy and somebody's going to be mad. Life goes on. OK, but my mindset is, what is going to be the economic impact for the next year, and how are you going to contribute to ensuring that there's going to be a better economic impact and whatnot? That's the question. That's all that matters to me at this point, because anything else is just kind of moot, you know, and it is what it is. Don't let this whole don't let any election stop you from your goals and aspirations in life. OK, now that the president's been there's been a choice and whatnot, President-elect Joe Biden, so be it. But then at the end of the day, what are you going to do tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day? What are the relationships and the networkings that you're going to actually contribute to tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day? It's all about action. It's all about implementation. It's all about gaining the knowledge, and it's all about the networking with the right people at the end of the day. I can't put it any other way. That's where we're at. That's what I want to engage with, you know, and that's what I foresee being the future in a sense. And, you know, like I said, I'm just I don't know about you all, but I'm just at a point in life where it's like, keep it positive or keep it moving, because there's enough negativity out here in this world to where, you know, that could just be cut by just walking in the room. You could cut it with a little bitty knife by just walking into a room filled with tension and filled with negativity. There's just no time for it anymore. You know, it's a different world. And I think we just need to work together at the end of the day, put little differences aside. Insulting each other doesn't get anybody anywhere. And always remember, there's corporations and there's people in government that can't stand each other, but they always find a way to work something out. You know, you can go to any state, any country, any city. There's going to be people that like, I can't stand you, but we're going to work things out for the greater good of the world, for the greater good of our community. I mean, you can there's neighborhoods where people can't stand each other, but, you know, a lot of times they just mind their own business. Or sometimes when the incident happens, people come together. So my whole thing is, why does something bad have to happen for people to come together? You know, I've noticed that one thing with even COVID-19 or whatnot. A lot of people have been trying to be more sensible for the most part towards another. You know, show more of humanistic compassion towards one another, because, you know, at the end of the day, like me or hate me, we're in it together, whether you like it or not. Unless you're one of those people that just live out in the mountains off the grid, and that's fine. Hey, go for it. You know, no one's knocking that, because my mindset is, as long as you're happy at the end of the day, that's where we're at as a society. You need to be happy. You know, you need to work together. Just all this hating nonsense, it's unhealthy mentally, physically, and spiritually. I can't not put it any other way. It is very unhealthy. And I don't know why anybody would want to engage in it, but that's just my personal opinion on that one. All right. So that's all I got in that regards, family. I thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching, please. Hey, Maureen, how you doing, young lady? Yeah. I just asked you to please, you know, give a like, give a share. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. It's always greatly appreciated. You know, it's always, and it's free. Because you know what I always say, if it's free, then it's me. But on that note, family, thank you for watching. I'm about to head out and do what I got to do. But hopefully you guys have a great night. And like I said, at the end of the day, family, let's keep it positive. Let's work things out. I'm gonna get my and continues to network. You know, that's my main thing. I like to see people doing good. You know, I'm not a hater. I'm a congratulator. I love to see people do great things. I love to collaborate with people. So if you own a business, put it in. You have a YouTube page or a Facebook page, put it in the comment section. You know, let's work together. Let's engage. Heck, I might, you know, if I like your the atmosphere that you have, the aura about you, I might say, hey, you know, let's come on my channel. Let's have an interview. Tell me about yourself. That's why it's called Larry's Anything Goes, because it's not all about me. It's about you at the same time. All right. So let's call it a night. Leave out with some good music, and we're gonna keep it simple. Thank you for watching, family. All right. Yeah. I'll see y'all later. And y'all take it easy. Yeah. All right.